Welcome. Thanks for being here. I just invite you to just get your mat if you haven't already, and your chair. We are going to be getting down on the mat as part of this practice. So you can put that out now or later as we transition to the mat. But we will start on our chairs. And so I just invite you to come into a comfortable seat. Just take a moment here to arrive in our practice. So you may soften your gaze or even close your eyes. And just bring your awareness inward. Just be present to what you might be noticing in your body. Perhaps starting with those surfaces beneath you. Just feeling the ground under the feet, the sit bones on the chair. Just work your way up your body, just noticing as you make your way up to the crown of the head. I invite you to find your breath in your body if you haven't already. You might be noticing other sounds in your space, maybe noticing warmth or coolness on your skin. Maybe thoughts are coming into the mind. And just notice them, acknowledge them, and let them go as best you can. Bringing your awareness back to your breath, back to your body. And take a moment now to make an intention for your practice. Our theme as we continue together is going to be equanimity. So we're going to cultivate or practice just having balance in the mind as we go through our practice. Especially there are times in our practice where maybe some posture or some pose might be presenting a challenge. And so there are opportunities to just observe what happens in the mind and to practice this equanimity. There's also balance in our body. So we try to, as we go through our practice, have a balance of what we do on one side to the other. And so there's balance in our body, in our practice, physical practice, and also this balance in our thoughts, emotions, and our spirit. So if you haven't already, let's go ahead and come into our seated Tadasana. Just finding that length through the spine, just noticing our posture. Still feeling your feet on the ground, but this time perhaps feeling a lift through the crown of the head. And starting to bring some movement to the body now. So on an inhale, let's inhale, take that right arm up, and exhale, release. And taking the opposite arm up, inhaling, and exhaling. And let's bring both arms up now. Inhale, and exhale. And one more time on each side, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and let's go ahead and start to bring some movement to the legs. Alternating arms and legs now, starting again with the right arm. Inhaling, breathing in, left knee comes up, and exhale, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Both arms still come up, bringing maybe a little bit of extension of the spine, maybe raising that gaze up, and then exhale. So continuing here, a little movement for the legs, an extension for the spine as we raise both arms up. And one last time. And coming back to your Tadasana. Let's go ahead now and come into another sequence. We're going to come into a rotation of the spine. So let's sweep the arms up from our sides now as we inhale. And as we exhale, let's bring the left arm forward, the right arm back, rotating to the side. Inhale, arms up overhead, and exhale. Inhale, arms up, and back to our Tadasana. So a few more times with this new sequence. Breathing in, and exhale. And one last time. All right, so now we're going to hold this rotation. So let's start with the right hand, placing it behind our hip, the back of our seat or chair. And let's take the left hand, lengthen on an inhale, and exhale, bring your hand to your opposite knee and rotate through the spine. Your gaze can look over the right shoulder, or you can keep the neck neutral, the gaze neutral, if that is too much to look over the back shoulder. So as we inhale, you're lengthening through the spine. And as you exhale, engage your core and rotate from the core. Breathing in, lengthening, and exhale, rotating. One last breath. And then unwind. Come back to your Tadasana. And just pause for a moment. When you're ready, take that left hand, place it behind your hip or at the back of your seat. Take the right arm, inhale and exhale. Rotate, bringing the hand to the opposite knee. Breathing in, lengthening through the spine, and exhaling, rotating from the core. Ready, unwinding, just coming back once again to your Tadasana, just feeling the echo of that pose in your body. And let's transition now to our mats. So I just move my chair over to the side. And so let's come onto the mat. Again, you can have a pillow, a towel, or a scarf or something to soften the knees as needed. But we'll meet here on your mats in tabletop. And now coming into flexion also for the spine. So this extension as we come into our cow pose, breathing in. And as you exhale, coming into flexion, breathing out, tucking the chin under, arching through the upper back. Inhale, gaze upward, and you feel the extension through the lower back. And moving through this sequence, following the movement of your breath, or your movement of the breath guiding your movement of the breath guiding your And after your next exhale, just come back to neutral. And now we're going to turn the head here, coming into a stretch for the side body. So this is pretending, as you will, like you're a puppy dog, and you're just going to turn the head. You're going to look back, the tail behind you, or just look back at your feet or the back of the mat. So let's stretch through the side body here. Breathing into that left side of the body if you're looking back on your right side. And then when you're ready, inhale, come back to neutral. And then turning your gaze the opposite side down. Maybe it's the left side. You're looking again, pretending there's the tail of your puppy dog, or looking at your heel or the back of the mat. You want to stretch through the right side of the body or the opposite side of the body. And then coming back to neutral. All right, so let's go ahead now and just sit back on our heels, come into your child's pose. Maybe you want to circle the wrists or gently massage the wrists from sitting in our tabletop. On an inhale, coming back up to neutral. We're going to come into a lunge pose. So let's go ahead. Inhale, that right leg back. And as you exhale, exhale, bring the knee forward, and you might need to help your foot forward. Step your foot forward, and you want to make sure the knee is not going beyond the toes. So your knees ideally over the ankle or slightly forward. Hands are on your mat, or if you have yoga blocks, you can always use your yoga blocks to help you in your practice. And the yoga blocks bring the surface up to your hands. So you might find it a little bit more comfortable to have your hands on blocks. So we're here in this lunge pose. This is a pose that will help stretch your hip flexor. So you'll feel that stretch through the front side of the left hip. So your knee's still on your mat. Your wrists are under your shoulders. You could be on blocks, or you could have them directly on your mat. Two more breaths. And then if you have blocks, you can set them aside. And then bring your knee back to your mat, back in your tabletop. And then as we do on one side, we always do the other. So inhale that left leg back. And as you exhale, bending the knee, bring it forward and helping your foot forward as needed. And so again, checking that the knee's not going beyond your toes. And once more, you could use your blocks if you have them. And you can see that there are different heights on blocks. If you need to raise the height a little bit more closer to your hands, there are different sides or edges of the block that you can use. So you'll feel the stretch in the front of the opposite leg now, front of the hip flexor. Last breath. And then again, setting your blocks aside if you're using them. And then taking the knee back to the mat. And then let's come up onto the knees now. Let's come up onto the knees. And once again, we're going to come into what is called a gate pose. So we did this in another class, if you saw that class. So you're on your knees. Let's take and you might need a chair. You can see I have a chair here. You can always use a chair to support you. I'm going to take my right leg out to the side. Again, I can have my hand on the chair. I can have my hand just resting on the leg that's outstretched, my right leg. And I'm going to move dynamically now with the left arm. So inhaling, arm up, and then exhaling over towards the right. Inhale and exhale, float the arm down. So we'll move in this way dynamically in our gate pose. And then this time, let's hold our pose. Just notice how it feels in our body as we hold this pose. Any sensations or even the movement of the mind. Just observe those thoughts that come. Acknowledge them, let them go. Observe what you're feeling in your body. No right, no wrong. Inhaling the arm up and exhaling, floating the arm down. And then bringing the right leg back to your mat. And when you're ready, you can take the left leg out to the side here. And again, you might need to orient your body a bit differently if you're using the support of your chair. And on an inhale, inhale the right arm up now, and exhale over towards your left. So you're starting to feel perhaps that stretch through the side body as the arm travels the opposite side. You're breathing in and out, breathing in. And then the next time your arm is over in the opposite direction, hold your pose here. Breathe into that side body. Just notice again the body, notice the mind, as if you're an observer. Allowing what is there to be there. Noticing. And on your next inhale, inhale the arm up, flip the arm down. And then let's go ahead and let's transition to our backs. So at this time, if you want to take a pillow, you can have a pillow under the head. You can have it nearby for our final Shavasana. You can have a pillow for under the knees as well. So set your balls aside. You want to have some room around you. So let's first just settle here on our backs and just notice the body. We're going to now move into a sequence. It's a sequence that will, you'll be stretching and noticing a stretch through the hamstrings. We'll come into what is like a supine butterfly pose. So that's the hip opener pose. And then rotation for the spine. So I will take you through this sequence and then we'll do this together. So you may want to watch first. So you're on your backs here. You want to make sure it's clear above you. And just move this a little bit. All right, so inhale the arms overhead. And as you exhale, bend the knees, bring your hands to your knees. Keeping your toes together, inhale, butterfly pose, so the knees go out to the edges of your mat. Exhale, come back together, knees together. And then you're going to come into a rotation now. So inhale to the right. Your right hand could guide your knees, your left hand could be out to the side. And then come back to center. And then rotate the opposite direction. Inhale back to center. Arms overhead, lengthen the legs, and release the arms at your sides, and then release the legs. You can release the legs one at a time. All right, so we'll go through that a little bit faster here. So now that you know each part of the sequence. So inhale, arms overhead, exhale, knees and hands together. Inhale, butterfly pose. Exhale, knees together. Inhale, rotate to the right. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, rotate to the left. And your rotation doesn't have to go all the way to the ground. Inhale, back to center. Inhale, the arms overhead. Straighten the legs, lengthen them towards the sky. Exhale, the arms down. And then release the legs one at a time. All right, so let's continue. Let's maybe do this one more time together, and then you can move at your own pace. So inhaling. Exhale, hands and knees together. Inhale, butterfly pose. Exhale. Inhale, rotation. Exhale. Inhale, rotation. Exhale. Inhale, arms up overhead, lengthen the legs. And then exhale, arms at your sides, and release your legs. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands together. Inhale, butterfly pose. Exhale. Inhale, rotation. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands and knees together. Inhale, up. Exhale. Rotation. And one more time at your own pace. When you finish, just allow your body to be still and supported by the mat beneath you. Inhale, let's take both knees up to the chest. You can have them close, maybe gently rock side to side. It's a little bit of a massage for the back. Finding stillness when you're ready. Releasing the legs, keeping the knees bent. So, it's going to come into another hip opener. So, we were moving dynamically earlier. This time we're going to hold our pose. So, take the right leg and cross it onto the left thigh. On inhale, take the left leg up towards you And thread your right arm through that window here, or that hole. Hold it onto the back of the left leg now. Both hands holding the back of the leg. You can take the left foot out, you can circle it in one direction or the other. And keep that right foot flexed. Another option for this is to just keep your left foot on the mat and cross your right leg onto the left thigh. So this could be an option for you. When you're ready, you can release your leg if you're holding onto the back of the left leg, and left foot on the mat now, and release the right foot. So both feet are on the mat. And now when you're ready, take the left leg, rest it on the right thigh. And perhaps this is your pose. You can stay here, keeping that left foot flexed. If it's available to you, you can take that right leg up towards you. Again, threading your left hand out through the window or that hole, holding on to the back of the right leg. Circle the right foot in one direction and then the other. And when you're ready, you can release the leg. Right leg comes back down, left leg joins it. Take the feet out to the edges of your mat. You can take the arms out to the side, and you could just helicopter, not helicopter rather, but windshield wiper the legs from side to side. We're going to come up to a seated posture. So I invite you to just take one arm over by your ear, and with the windshield wiper legs, when they rest on the side of your arm, so my left side, I'm just going to roll onto my left side now. Use the palms of my hands to come up to a seated posture. I'm going to come into another sequence here. We're going to sit on our mats and outstretch the legs. And for some people, it feels better to raise their hips slightly. So you can sit on a pillow if you choose to. It raises the hips, and again, it allows your spine to be in its natural curve by raising the hips slightly, more comfortable. So our feet are going to be out in this V shape here, and we did a sequence earlier with that rotation of the spine, and we're gonna do that here in a seated posture. So we can start with our hands at our sides. On an inhale, we can inhale the arms up. As you exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. So rotation of the spine. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, rotate the opposite direction. Inhale the arms up. This time we're going to come to a forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, float the arms down. So that's our sequence here. So a little bit of a forward fold. You're going to feel maybe some sensation in your hamstrings. You'll feel the sensation in your spine as we come into flexion, and the rotation of the spine also as we rotate from side to side. All right, so on an inhale, inhale the arms up. Exhale, rotate. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and exhale. Fold forward. In and exhale. And then the next time your hands are on your mat, just pause here for a moment. We're going to come into now holding our forward fold. There's some options for your forward fold. If you have blocks, you can place your blocks in front of you, and you could rest your hands on your blocks. You can also take a chair. So you can have a chair in front of you, and you can rest your hands on the chair. So those are a couple of options for you. So let's go ahead and come into our forward fold now. So it's inhale the arms up, and exhale, hinging from your hips, come into your forward fold. And just notice here as you hold this pose how it feels in your body. Again, just noticing as if you're an observer, observing your body with equanimity, no right, no wrong. Acknowledging what you're feeling in your body, listening. When you're ready on it, in, back up. Bring the feet together. And then once again, let's go ahead and recline on our mat. So, recline on your mat. You're taking your pillows along with you. You can have a pillow under the head. And this time, if you choose to, you can have a pillow under the knees as well. So this is going to be our final pose. This is our Shavasana as we come to the end of our practice. Again, as you hold this pose, just finding equanimity, observing your body. And gently start to bring awareness back to your body. You can move the toes, move the fingers, move the head gently from side to side. And again, taking one arm, sliding it up towards the ears. You can bend the knees and roll onto your side. Taking the palms of the hands, using the palms of the hands to gently bring you up back to an upright position. Coming back to a seated posture, either on your mat or you can come back to your chair. And as we end our practice, I invite you to go through your days, the rest of your day and your week, as best you can, practicing equanimity, just finding balance, calmness through your days, whatever presents itself to you. And remember that there is a part of you that is unchanging, your ground of being, that you are created in love, for love, and to be loved. You are loved. And finding peace, joy, comfort, and knowing that truth. Thanks so much for your practice. Wishing you well.